In System Administration. Welcome back everybody. I'm Prakash Pradhan, your trainer for this series. So in our previous session we talked about installing our FTP server, and hosting that page so that your client can upload and download a file using the protocol FTP. That's a port number 21 by default. So in today's session, for the continuation further of your FTP server, we are going to talk about certain security issues and the system administration part of a system administrator in order to manage and monitor the FTP server. So let's start without wasting our time much further. So last time we have hosted one FTP server here, if you remember. So if you have missed out that video, please first go through that video so that it is in sequence and it will be easy for you to understand. So today we are going to see some of the features that the system administrator must know about management of the FTP server. So over here, if I see right now my FTP server, I'm going to dial it using the Qt FTP. You can use any other app or maybe using the FileZilla as well. So I'm going to log in my FTP server as a client. It is a host. That means the server or the PC that has hosted that FTP server, and it is a username whom it is being allowed to use, and that is a password of that user. So as soon as I hit this one, as soon as I try to connect, whatever files are shared in that FTP server is going to display over here like you have seen last time. So if you have forgotten that one, by default, whenever we install FTP role, in our server environment, there will be one folder automatically created in the root of the C. So that one is your inetpub. Inside inetpub, there is one folder called FTP root. So this is the default location actually, where the files that is being hosted for the FTP will get listed. So let's say I have created one more file over here. So if I go over here, and refresh it, see 3 files are there. So whatever permissions you have given to this particular user will get the access as per that the permission. Now your work as a system administrator will be to look after and manage the entire services of this FTP. Let's try to connect through another one client that I'm doing intentionally. So let's say I'm going to connect again using another one PC. This is my client PC. So I'm using same account. This is allowed, using a same username password, multiple session can be done. As soon as I click connect, if I go back to my server, this is my main server. Now I'm going to show you some of the important thing. The first thing what you need to understand is the session. Here FTP current session. As a system administrator, you need to monitor how many clients are connected at this moment. Remember, 2 clients. One, this server itself, and second one is that client. So this tab shows over here the current FTP session that's going around at this moment. It's like a file server. Before we shut down the server or the file server, we used to monitor how many clients have been connected, and we do send them a text message using any means. This is similar to that. Please do not shut down your server, or if you have any issues, without disconnecting the session. Now first one is the session over here. If you wanted to disconnect the session with the prior information, we do have option here. See, you can disconnect the session also, or if you feel that there is a heavy load. Now before we disconnect, you need to see all these things. That means who's the source, who has connected to this FTP server at this moment, when the session was started. Then you see the command start time, session start time, and the bytes up and down. That means bytes sent and received. What amount of bytes are being sent and what amount of bytes been received. And as soon as any of the client connect to your FTP server, automatically one session ID will be generated in order to monitor all these things. And the next one, the first one over here, authentication. Remember, we have 2 modes of authentication. One is a anonymous authentication, second one is the basic authentication. Anonymous authentication of FTP server means anyone can log into FTP server without having the authentication. And I guess that one is not the secure mechanism to host or access any of the features of your FTP server. So that's why we have a basic authentication. In basic authentication, it's going to ask a name of the user, who are authentic or allowed to use your FTP server. And next one is authorization. What authority do you have to that user? Now see over here, this is for authentication And this one is for the authorization. That means who is authorized to have an access over this FTP server. The mode is allow, user is shadow. There is only one user to whom I am allowed to access this FTP server. That's a name itself I have given the shadow. And second one is the permission. So what permission you have given over here? Role we have not assigned. So what permission you have given over here? Apart from that, if you want to make any of the rules for allowing particular IP and denying this particular IP in order to manage, we do have option over here. See, add allow rule. You can generate the rules for allowing also. Allow access to this content, all users, anonymous user, specific roles or the groups. You can specify users also over here, whom do you want to allow and disallow. That means you can add also. Okay, and you can set the deny rule also over here. Among your all the users from the domain environment, whom do you want to allow and whom do you want to deny the access of this FTP content, that can be set from here. So you give any username, whatever you want. Okay, whom do you want to block? And this one is the session we have already discussed. Okay, this is the current session. Okay, now apart from this, we do have one thing to discuss. This is restriction. That was the user. This is the restriction on the basis of IP. If you think any particular IP is unnecessarily accessing your FTP server and that might be generating excess traffic, like we have seen, sent bytes and receive bytes. If you think the unnecessary packets are sending and receiving by any IP in your FTP server, we can set it either in allow or restricted range of IP over here. See, you have got the range of IP as well. Including the subnet mask. That is a mandatory in order to identify your network. Now that means the classes of IP. So a specific IP address you can allow restriction or you can deny as well. You have two options here. Deny access to the following IP address or domain name. You can specify over here whom do you want to allow and whom do you want to deny also. So these options are also over here in your network or outside your this network also if it is needed. Now there is another one important thing that I would like to show you, and that one is using your, let's say right now I have used my Qt FTP in order to access my FTP server. Okay, now if you say that all the time the client has to type the password, okay, I will disconnect this session. Okay, if you say that this is my personal laptop, my personal tab, my personal device, so I want to store the username and password in my device using this FTP client software so that every time I don't have to type my password. So for that you give the host name, username and the password. And over here you see you have an option to create a site manager. Right now you see site manager, it's a default. There's one IP that was stored last time. I'm gonna remove it. Okay, now after typing this IP, if I come to the site manager, this is empty. Now if I add it, I give a name, so I'm going to give it the same IP address so that it will be easy for you to recognize to which FTP server you are going to hit, because you might be accessing a FTP server more than a one. So that's why. So over here now, rather than writing username and password, your host name all the time, I can simply double click this and it will do the authentication work automatically. This is possible only if your device is secure. Otherwise, what happens, I'm going to show you. If you log in and save your password over here in a cache, for example, so I'm going to close this. Okay, I'm going to close it. I'm going to close this full. Then I'm going to log in. Okay, again. That means I'm going to access my FTP server again using your FTP Qt app. Now let's see what's going to happen. Since you already know it's a trial version because I have only downloaded just to show you. Okay, now it's loading, no worries because it's a trial one. Okay, continue, close. See here, if I go down, site manager has already loaded. Though host name, username, password is not shown over here, but in the site manager the entire things are cached. If I double click without giving my username and password, your FTP server will be authenticated and whatever files are shared are going to be displayed. Double click, done. See here. See, it's done. But if this device is not secure, what's going to happen? any user, whoever has an IT knowledge, okay, can go right click, property, it's gonna show your password in asterisk. And there are certain websites, trust me guys, I'm not gonna say the name of those sites over here, because I'm not here to give a training of some sort of hacking tools and all. It is completely a system administration task. So if you are interested, please search yourself, it's there over the cloud. Okay, now there are many apps over the cloud. It's not only for the cute FTP FileZilla, there are many FTP app, and all of those FTP apps, maximum so far I know, there are certain third-party software that can crack down your cache password. So they will simply crack down this password using those unofficial websites. I don't think any of the password cracking softwares or the apps or the sites are official. So using this cache, they can easily crack your password. So please never do this. Only in a case if you think it's secure, you can do that. So what we learned today over here, we'll talk about the authentication protocol. Okay, we talk about authorization, permission, user, resolve, and we also talk about the current session, and you can also disconnect that session from here. Okay, and we also talk about over here FTP address and domain. That means that you can allow and deny also. So I hope this was a bit informative to you in order to manage your FTP server, and it's gonna definitely added some knowledge in your system administration day-to-day tasks. So if you think it was a bit informative and fruitful to you, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.